Hi, welcome back. So in this video, we're just going to learn a pretty simple, straightforward what a domain controller is. Okay, what is a domain controller? A domain controller is just a computer. That's all. It's a server that is running Active Directory. Okay, it's a server or computer that is running Active Directory. So somebody asked me, what is Active Directory? Active Directory is just a Microsoft technology or a Microsoft service that is used to manage computers, networking, users, computers, printers, just name it. Anything you can see on your computer, it's being managed by AD, or you can call it Active Directory. So that is what a domain controller is. With this diagram here, you have a domain controller here, you have a computer A here, you have computer B here. Okay, now if your domain controller resides in a company in New York, for instance, okay, and computer A is in San Francisco, when you come into the office in the morning, the reason why you are able to log in is because you are connected to this domain controller. It means that this domain controller manages every user. Okay, if computer B is not on this network and it comes into the office, he or she won't be able to log in into this domain controller or log into his computer because he is not part of the domain. But because computer B is part of the domain, then you are able to log in because it allows the users to authenticate their details. Okay, the same thing with computer C. So basically what domain controller does, it manages every network, every computer on the network, every users, every printers, every network, every virtual networks, everything. It manages it. It's the boss. You can call the domain controller as the boss. So in this video, we're just going to install domain controller. We're just going to install a server. Like I said, domain controller is just a regular server, just a normal server that runs Active Directory. So in this video, we're first of all going to install Windows Server 2012 or 2016. So we're going to go back to our VM. Okay, I'm very sure you're familiar with this right now. So we're going to start with installing virtual machine. Okay, we're going to click new virtual machine. Okay, and then we're going to choose typical. Okay, create a workstation virtual machine in a few steps. You click next. Okay, now you remember we downloaded the 2012 ISO file for Windows Server, right? Now we're going to click browse and look for where you store the server or store the ISO file, and you open. Once you do that, automatically you can see Windows Server 2012 detected, and then you click next. You go to next, and then here you can just name it domain controller. Okay, and then you click next. Here it says the virtual machine's hard disk is stored as one or more files in the host computer's physical disk. Okay, now we're just going to use 60 gig drive. Okay, and you click next and finish. It's going to take a couple of minutes to install. So when it's done installing, we'll continue. Okay, I'm not going to pause this video, so I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes until it's installed, so that I don't want you to miss the action. So once you see the screen, you just click next and then you click install now. Okay, and then you follow the installation process. So once you see this dialog box, we're going to install 2012 data center evaluation with a GUI, with the graphic user interface. So we click next, and then you accept the license. We usually don't read this license, and then you click next. Now we are installing fresh application, so we're going to just custom install Windows Only Advanced. So we're going to click that because we're not upgrading. You remember we chose 60 gig. You just click next, and then we leave this until it's installed. Pretty easy and straightforward. So once that is done, the Windows server is going to restart. So we're just going to wait for a couple of minutes while it restarts, and then we'll be good to go. All right, so we're done with the installation. We're just going to put a strong password here. Okay, so you add your strong password here. Make sure the password is strong enough. Okay, and then you click finish. We'll wait for a couple of minutes for the settings to be finalized, and then we're good to go. We're ready to get our hands dirty. All right, so once this is done, we can now log in by clicking this icon here. Okay, and then we can log in into our server. So you can see we have a full-fledged Windows Server 2012. So now you know the reason why we installed the VMware workstation. You can see we have a computer inside another computer. Does that make sense now? All right, so now we don't really like this little screen. We want to be able to, make it larger enough. So we're going to install the extension that will allow this Windows to be large. So we're going to click VM here and then install VMware tools. All right, so once this pops up, this drive D pops up, you just click and then you run the setup. Then you wait for a couple of minutes for that setup to be done. So we click next, you choose typical and you click next and you just install. It takes a couple of seconds and then your server will restart. All right, so we're done. Just click finish, and then it says you must restart your system for the configuration changes made to VM tools to take effect. So click yes to restart now. We're just going to click yes, and then our system is restarting. All right, so now we're back. We can see the difference between the first one and the second one. You can see it's bigger now. So we will just log in into our server or our domain controller. Now in the real sense, this is just a server. It's not yet technically a domain controller. It's not yet a domain controller. There are some, some settings that we're going to go through in the next video that would promote this server to become a domain controller.